Engage. We're all fucking giddy.
It's a beautiful day, though. It's hard not to
Oh,
be giddy when the sun
my
is finally
fucking
shining.
God. Honestly, I've had flip-flops and shorts on for, I bet you, 2 days this fucking season. And that's it.
Yeah,
It should be more.
Except for when it was like in the 90s almost, a couple, like 6 weeks ago, where we had that really warm spell.
Yeah,
where it
no,
was
that
like-
was like 1 day.
Yeah,
2
it was
days, you know,
crazy.
that I was wearing shorts and flip-flops. But today, and I feel weird because I smoke again, right? But I have to go outside to smoke because I don't want to smoke in the fucking apartment. But I feel like a dirtball when I go outside to smoke now. First of all, just because I'm smoking, and I feel like people are going, he's smoking.
Yeah, it's so bad for you.
And,
it is bad for you, Smitty.
But then I go out with like sweatpants on because I'm at home,
Yeah.
right? And then I just feel like even more of a dirtball than I'm out there with fucking sweatpants on.
Well, you know what you need to do? Stop worrying about what other people think about what you got on.
I'm getting pretty good at that. But no, you know why though? You know why is that I'm not going to say who it is, but there's somebody I don't think you know this person. There's something that a lot of us collectively in our group know,
Right.
who is notorious for wearing fucking sweatpants and just bumming around like an asshole. And I don't want to be that guy.
I see.
Just in sweatpants.
Yeah, because you judged him. You don't want people judging you like that.
No, not at all. No, I don't want to. I'm okay judging other people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. We are our worst own critics anyways, so.
Great friend, Susan Melton, who I've known for
I was trying to figure on the way over here, like 12 years?
When did you start at the station? We
almost-
met before the station because we met at the Traverse City Lip Dub,
Yes,
which you
we
should
did.
totally check out. I'll
Yeah.
try to find a link to that. I think it's not on YouTube. It's on one of the other video sites like Vivo or some shit like that.
Not Verbo, that's
Yeah.
the house running thing or whatever.
And I bet you, how many people did we have for that Traverse City Lip
It
Dub?
was so cool. It was really the coolest
We had
thing.
thousands of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
If you ever see one of those lip dubs, you just have a mass of people lip syncing a song. Is in this particular case, where the camera's following you,
Continuous. It was
continuous
like no
for
editing,
two
no
songs.
stopping.
There was the Paul Simon song and there was the Van Halen song.
Yep.
And throughout the whole fucking town, man, it was like just an insane thing. And I'd love to be a part of that. It was so fun.
It
So
was
fun.
a great time. It was a great time, and I wasn't like in it. I was in charge of one of the corners, so we had to wrangle the people that were coming through and going out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast.
We
Just
only
had a
had,
blast.
I think we cut it short that day just because it was like heat stroke incidents.
Oh, that's
it was super
right.
fucking
it was
hot.
so hot. People were like passing out.
In the 90s,
Yes.
try to keep everybody hydrated.
Yes,
it was
indeed.
awesome.
It was a good time, though. I'd love to do that again. It was a lot of fun.
Why don't you set it up? I'll do it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me get right on that.
It's not like you don't have a million other things to do.
This is true.
I'm only digging out my phone because we're going to do the word of the day. You
Okay.
can't, even though there's a guest in the studio, we still do the word of the
I
day.
like to learn.
So from dictionary.com, I like to learn as well. The word of the day today, totality. Totality.
Well, it's a good word for the eclipse day.
Oh
Totality.
my God, that's why it's probably the word of the day.
Hey, I don't know.
Are you get
Totality.
totality? Let's see what that word means. Find out the origins. Oh, I don't have my glasses handy.
Oh,
Are
do you
those
just
readers?
They're just readers.
I do that all the time at work. I have my glasses in my front pocket.
Yeah.
I'm a totally old man. And you know how many guests, especially like old dudes who don't like to have glasses on
Right.
for some reason, go, oh, they can't read the menu or the tip thing or whatever. And I go, oh, I don't have my glasses. And I was going, here you go.
Yeah, a lot of people are in
Anyway.
the same boat.
Meanings and examples.
So it's not totally, it's totality.
A total obscuration or dark astronomy. It's a noun. Okay. First recorded in 1590 to 1600 in the sense of a whole. The astronomical sense highlighted here was first recorded in the 1840s. Comes from the noun total. Total. Why did I say it like that? Which comes from the Latin word totalis, meaning entire. During the solar eclipse, we were lucky enough to witness the breathtaking totality as the moon completely blocked out the sun.
And it looks really clear out right now. I don't know what
Supposed to be sunny, I think, throughout the day.
yeah, so I'm
I'm not
hoping-
looking at it.
You're not gonna?
I don't give
You're
a shit.
It
Is
only
that-
happens every 20 years. You don't care. You know, see something like
Yeah,
that.
I think
to
it's
be-
actually way more rare. I think it's almost 100 years.
No.
I'm pretty sure. I looked it up yesterday or the day
Really?
before. Yeah, let's look it up again, shall we?
Okay, look it up again because I
Yeah.
could have.
No,
sworn
you
it's at
got
20
use
years.
your glasses. You
Oh.
didn't think you were going to be asked to fact check
Are
anything,
you
so let's look this up.
serious, dude? Okay.
But no, I just don't care.
Oh, okay. That's
It's
fine.
weird. It's just like, oh, it happens. I don't have glasses for it. I got other shit to do. I'm not going to stand outside gawking at the
I'm gonna
sky.
be at work and I will have things to do as well. But if something that only happens every, it's a rare event, when
Just go. Okay, what did I Google? I Googled Northern Michigan solar eclipse, full solar eclipse. When is the next time or some shit like that? And it was
happen.
the last time.
Oh crud!
The last time I want to say was in the 70s, maybe 79. Because I did see a flashback newspaper article online today, and I wanted to say the 70s
8th,
perhaps.
Blah blah blah. 2026, 18 days, August. The last eclipse was 2017.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a total solar. Even though I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was longer
Same
than that.
type of eclipse, it says.
I'm
solar
wrong a lot.
eclipse. That is okay.
You're probably better
because I don't
fact-checking
really
than I
know
am.
anyways, but I got the glasses just in case it, whatever. It's once in a life. I'm never going to be able to see it again.
I've seen eclipses before. though,
Yeah.
You know?
I don't remember any except in elementary school, just being don't look at it, make the paper things with the little pinhole in it and look through, which is not nearly as much
It's not,
fun.
I don't think it's that safe anyway. It can't be that safe.
Yeah, well, just don't look at it because that'd be bad. If it's nice out, I'm going to step outside and it only lasts for less than 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe even faster.
It's like, what, 3:30 today?
Somewhere between.
Yeah. I don't have any glasses anyway.
That's all right.
So I got other things to do.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I'll just watch everybody watching it. That's the kind of the fun thing.
Well, the other thing too, they said, is to watch the shadows of things. Like look at the shadows of trees and other things that the sun would normally shine through. That the shadows are going to be very cool looking.
I mean, I think there's a coolness to it.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't care. I just say I don't care because I really don't. I don't care to go outside and see it. But there's something cool about it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
especially when I don't know. I like to think back. What was it like 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, whatever? What these fucking people are thinking when like the eclipse happens. I like to read
right.
stories about that.
Yeah, what they thought what was
Yeah.
happening at the time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like imagine like the first chimps that were on mushrooms, seeing that fucking eclipse. What is happening?
It's nighttime.
Yep.
It's daytime. It's nighttime.
That first chimp on mushrooms led to where we are now.
Is that what happens? I think it's gonna be cool. I'll just check it out. Just
Oh, it'll be all right. But
Yeah.
again, I like just the idea of watching people watch it.
Yeah.
That's like we were talking about my space here in Mansalona.
Uh-huh.
You honestly, I don't know how you do it, but you go to so many events in Northern Michigan. You go to every parade. You do everything.
I do quite a few. Yeah.
For the radio station, and I think for not even just for the radio station. I think you just like to do it too.
I do. I like community.
Yeah.
I like to be involved in the community.
But like you said, you go and I thought about this a lot. Where you're like, you can watch the whole parade take place in the 15 minutes that it takes in this little town of Mansalona for the Bass Festival, which is when?
At the end of May.
End of May. Oh, but it's cool. I like the
May.
idea. I don't even like parades.
Yeah.
I hated driving in them. I've never liked to go see them. I always thought they were just super boring. But
You have
I feel like
upstairs view.
I have an upstairs view. That's different. That could make me like parades because I don't have to wait. I don't have to get in line. I don't have to deal with a horde of people.
Yes, it's not too people-y up here.
I can just watch.
There you go. And then you could people watch as well while you're watching the parade go by. So that's
overrated too.
okay.
You know what you were walking in here today? You're so
yeah.
much more of a nicer person than I am.
Well, I try. I don't know. I just that's just the way I was raised. I don't know, and I'm glad
That's great.
because
I
my
love
mom
it.
was.
That's
just
why we're
amazing.
friends.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why. That's mostly why I think. Honestly, I was trying to.
But
I didn't want to ask you before. What were you going to say?
I was just trying to figure out how long we've known each other, but we didn't really know each other lip sync time.
No,
because I was
that's
with
where
a
we met.
different station at that time. But because I haven't been with this company and it'll be 14 years in August.
So yeah, 14 years, pretty much. Yeah,
just about. Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy though, how fast that went by.
I was thinking about it because you were just mentioning, I can't believe that I'm 3 years into this 5-year plan.
Yeah.
It's just that goes by so fast. It's definitely a product of when you get older, because you don't feel that shit when
No.
you're younger. You're like, holy shit, it was 5 years ago. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it was 14 years ago. It's honestly because at least in my case, starting radio late. It's like I've had different eras of my life. I think about that shit all the time, just different eras, right?
Yeah.
And I was 31 when I started at the radio station, just from nothing.
And I don't even know your background is like how you got into doing that at all. Like, cause I went to Specs Howard and I actually wanted to go into film cause I went to CMU,
Yeah.
but then I couldn't afford to go tuition back. So I went to Specs Howard, thought I'd go into television, but they make
Yeah.
you learn both. Ended up getting in radio and never left. So how did you?
I mean, I went to Specs.
Okay.
I went to Specs, but it was like I was working at True Green Chemlon,
Uh-huh.
and I just felt stuck. My mom kind of had a cancer scare, so I had like a little mini nervous breakdown where I was just like, "Fuck, what am I doing with my life?" I was kind of doing just like, fucking dead end jobs, not dead end jobs, but you're
Yeah.
bartending over here, you're driving cab, I sold vacuum cleaners for a couple weeks, just trying to fucking make money.
Yeah.
And then I was at True Green Chemlon, and nothing against that company, I just hated that job. And I was like, fuck this. And I remember one day, and had always wanted to get into radio, just as an idea. I didn't even know if I was going to be good at it or anything. And like, I was just sitting at work one day. I was there for 2 years at True Green, and I went out to go on a route to do whatever lawns I was doing that day. And I was like, fuck this. And I just ended up sitting at the Grand Traverse Mall in the parking lot. And I was just sitting there going, fuck. And I called up my ex-girlfriend, Danielle, and bless her heart. I'm just like, I hate this fucking job. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to quit. She's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to go to radio school. She's like, then do it, quit.
Yeah.
And I went and got a job at my old job at the cab company. They said, yeah, come on back, and I started like the next day or something, and signed up for radio school, quit that fucking job. I drove right back to True Green, dropped my keys off and said, I'm fucking outie, and which I don't ever do, but I was
Right,
just over
yeah.
it. I couldn't do it, and then I just went to radio school, and
Boom. Then
Yeah.
the next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're in radio.
I was just thinking about, I don't see a lot of Specs Howard or students from other schools getting hired in radio much anymore. It's like when I got hired, I don't know what it was like for you, but like, you start in a small market,
Yep.
right? That's kind of the whole idea.
Yep.
Where you just go there, and I remember just going and doing everything. Every shit job that needed to be done there at 5:30 in the morning, leaving at like 1 o'clock in the morning. A lot of times, just doing all the bullshit, the part-time things that you do.
Yeah. Just get your foot in the door.
Just get your foot in the door and just keep doing things. But I mean, I bet it was a year or two before I even got out of doing that. Really.
I lucked out. I don't know how. I worked at a small AM station in Fenton, was my first gig. But then we moved up here, and quite frankly, I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I went to a broadcasting, the MAB in Mount Pleasant. Well, my mom was going to a Special Olympics event because she was big into helping at the same time at the school. So we went together, and I did the broadcasting, but she ran into somebody she was looking for me. She said, oh, my daughter's
wow.
in radio, love her, blah, blah, blah. Said, have her send us a thing. It turned out it was Reggie Box.
Who's that?
At WKLT.
Okay.
Like, he passed a while back, but and then the next thing I know, I sent my tape in, I sent my resume in. Probably a month later, I got hired to do weekends.
Yeah.
And out of that little studio in Kalkaska upstairs that you could see through the floor, and spin actual albums.
What do you mean you could? I remember where that studio was. I remember seeing
There was a hole in
that
the
studio was in
floor,
Kalkaska. There was
like
a hole in the floor.
piping, you could see down into the downstairs. And I'd sleep there because I'd be on at night. I'd get off at midnight, and then I'd have to be on at 6 a.m. Well, I lived, like an hour away. So I would be like, I'm just going to crash here because it wasn't on. From
There's so many people that do that.
crazy.
There's so many people that end up doing that. I feel like just like the commute, and you would end up crashing
Oh, yeah.
at the radio station, or because you got to be there the next day at fucking early in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It saved gas too.
Yeah.
You know.
Mine was like, I remember I stayed in Traverse City, got the job in Sheboygan. That's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I was working after I was out of radio school, and I was waiting probably 3 to 4 to, when the fuck did I get out? October 06. I started February of 07. So I was looking for a job for pretty much 4 months. And when I started, you know, I was part-time weekends, and then like it started to be another day here, another day in the week. And I kind of just didn't even ask my girlfriend or anybody. I was kind of a dick about it. And I just said, I got to go up there. And I just moved in with Cartman,
Oh, wow.
you know, and stayed there until I found a place, because I was just like, I can't make this drive. I have to make this job work. I don't want to say overly committed, but I was so fucking focused on just making it work
Yeah.
that I just said, I got to move, you know, I'm out.
I like your attitude as to like you're still doing that for this. You know, I'm following your little journey. I can't wait to see you in, you know, doing the thing.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's going to be so cool.
I don't know when I realized that it was kind of a similar parallel kind of journey. You know, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in radio. I had no clue. I got into radio to be I wanted to be a play-by-play guy. My dream job was the play-by-play for the
Really?
Tigers,
I
right?
did not know that.
Yeah, but I figured out very quickly that my talents don't lend themselves to that job.
Well, like, what about your talent doesn't lend yourself to that?
I don't come up with, I can't formulate words necessarily. It's hard to make the connection from intelligent thought to intelligent words.
Yes.
I'm a lot better at it now in this form than I was when I started.
I agree with that. Even now, like coming here, I was like, what are we going to talk about? Because what if I can't think of anything to say?
Right, but honestly, the same sort of like radio breakthroughs, because I thought the same thing. That's the way I did the podcast before, is I have to have topics and I have to have a thing. And that talk practice that I did on Sunday, I'm pretty much done with it. I might do one more or two more, because my Sunday mornings are going to be filled up with something else. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, I had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
To get past the brain blocks, you know, and that totally helped me. Just to sit there, I had like anxiety attacks on some of these early like talk practices where I was just like clamming up. I didn't have anything to talk about. You're live. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Once you let yourself sit with it, and let yourself get better at it, then fucking, you know, it's hard. You just got to commit yourself to it.
It is still hard, yes, but it gets a little bit easier the more you do it, like anything. I keep trying to teach my granddaughter who's 6.
Yeah.
I keep saying the power of yet, because she'll be like, I'm not good at this yet. You're not good at this yet.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Gabby's Doll House, because I
read-
love that power of yet.
I didn't read it, audiobook. I don't want to make it seem like I was reading when I wasn't. But it was, and admittedly, I fucking got the book because I'm a Detroit Lions super fan, and Dan Campbell is like one of my fucking heroes now at this point, life heroes. He's always talking about grit. I didn't get the book because of that necessarily. I was watching Pat McAfee sports show, and they had Chuck Pagano, who is the former head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. And they started talking about Dan Campbell and the grit stuff, and Chuck Pagano brought up that he read the book Grit by, I can't remember the name who wrote it, but it was a psychologist who really did like expert studies on like grit, just the ability to the stick-to-itiveness.
Right.
If you fucking stick to it and you just keep doing it, despite what everybody's fucking saying, if you feel like you're on the right track, if you feel like, honestly, for as many dick punches as I've had over this past couple of years with like moving and housing and all that shit, you would think I would have just gave up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how I've maintained my positivity, but I do know how, because I see that what I'm doing is working. I see, even though there's those real world dick punches, like you look at like the numbers and you look at the things and you look at it, it all adds up.
It does. The feedback of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, I still don't believe in myself enough, but you do get those moments of like, hey, look what you helped do. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll stick with it a little bit. And then it turns into a little bit longer, a little bit, you know, and you just don't give up.
I think, part of it is like realizing and figuring out your worth.
That's a big thing.
It's a big thing. It took me a while. I didn't have it for a long fucking time. And I, kind of finally did. And it was so fucking gratifying to just kind of be like, oh, okay, I know what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I kind of know who I am,
Yeah.
Like,
I'll let you know when I figure that out.
I think you're right around the corner.
I do. I feel like I get closer every day, but that voice inside my head is just, sometimes overwhelming.
asshole.
Like it is. It's just like, stop. You know you're not that. Why are you telling yourself you're that when you know you're not that?
I only smile and laugh just because I can relate to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To anybody new to this podcast, I talk about the struggles, and Susan talks about the struggles, and you are so respected and well known for what you've done with the Sidewalk Chalk project. I don't know. I was trying to think of like how many fucking years you started right after the radio station.
I did. I started right before the radio station. I honestly think that part of my starting that, because I was in a bad place, started my positivity motion. And it was a couple months after I started that I got the radio station job. And then I moved to Sheboygan. Then all these things started happening once I stopped focusing on the bad me, or not bad me, but whatever.
The shitty brain.
Yeah, exactly. And that project seriously helped save my life. Just looking for the things to chalk and trying to put it out there, not just for myself, but for other people. And
I'm going to put a link to whatever links you have social media for the Sidewalk Chalk project in the description somewhere.
But it'll be
probably right
I'll
below.
start my 14th year in August.
It's fantastic. I was thinking
in May.
In May
Because
it'll
it
be
was
14 years.
Memorial Day to Labor Day was my original goal.
And am I wrong in saying you haven't missed a day?
I have not missed a day.
You have chalked.
I have not missed a single solid, even sick. I chalk on my own driveway.
Sidewalk chalked something
Sidewalk chalk
every day
project,
for 14
every
years.
day.
I was thinking about that earlier today, and I was just like, when you talk about the all-time great streaks, when you talk about, because how are your knees, by the way?
Oh my gosh, it's funny because I ruined the first year. I probably ruined 4 or 5 pairs of jeans because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm just doing this. So I would go out, no padding, no nothing. I would just rip the knees and the toes of my shoes, but only only my left side because I kneel on that side all the time. Then somebody came along and they're like, hey, why don't you get a gardening pad to kneel on? And I'm like, and so ever since then I started using that. But yeah, some days it's hard to get down and up. The winters, they're the worst because I've chalked in like 32 below wind chill. And I'm like, I can't feel my fingertips when I'm done, but I finish it. So I just, that's my thing. I don't care what it looks like on those days. I did it. I accomplished it. That was my goal. I'm good.
And honestly, it's always, and so many times it's the message you want to hear and need to hear kind of in the moment. You know what I mean? They're always kind of, I don't want to say personalized, but I bet they're personalized to some people that are seeing them.
Yeah.
It's
funny because yesterday even there was 2 people in Sheboygan who somebody shared my chalk and said, I don't know how she does it. She seems to know what I need to hear every day. Yeah. And somebody else said me too. And I'm like, well, I didn't, but thank you. I appreciate that. What you saw helped make your day better. Or make you think a different way. And that's what it's about. Because it helps me. It helps me.
I was saying about it's the all-time great streaks. Like I was thinking, I don't know, there's baseball, there's Cal Ripken, who didn't miss a game for however many years. But again, he had days off because they didn't play every day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're talking about all-time great streaks, I don't know that somebody went to work every day. Yeah, you still had days off probably. You know what I mean? You have literally chalked something inspirational to whatever public you're focusing on every day for 14 years. How many fucking chalks is that?
It's over 5,000 because some days I had chalked like 2 or 3. Like the most was 10. I did 10 sidewalks in one day. But mostly, like lately, I've only been doing 1 because as I can, but some days I'll do 2 or 3. And if something big happens, like when the really bad shootings and stuff, I chalked in 6 different cities, but I chalked the same message in each city, and it was about rising above hate because, man alive, it breaks your heart when you see something like that. And it just keeps me going. It just gives me a purpose.
Yeah, you're doing stuff people need. I really feel like you are. I feel like it's I feel like it's a public service at this point. I'm not saying I don't want to commit you to it like that.
It's okay, because I will never stop unless I cannot physically get outside to do it. I'm just never going to not do it. I just don't want to stop ever until I'm gone. But if you ever get a chance, and I don't know if you have, there's a movie called What the Bleep Do They Know? And it's all about how what we put out into the world affects the world. Like if you talk to a plant and you're saying you're the bad, you know what I mean? They've shown studies. This plant dies, but if you're positive and uplifting, and that was kind of got the ball rolling in my head to start this, because I would start, okay, I'm going to write these positive messages on sticky tape and I'm going to put them all over here. And then I don't even know what it was that made me say, I'm just going to grab some chalk, put it on the earth, put it on the world, and maybe heal, a little minute square of it for a few minutes to make it a little bit better. And I really feel like if more people try to put the vibe out, the good vibe out there. And it's hard. Some days it's hard.
It's hard, but I really go out of my way too to, just try to make somebody feel better.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
nice.
It's not that hard.
It tells, I'm not saying everybody, and I talked shit about that fucking gas station in Kalkaska online at some point a few months ago, just because everybody was just like, and nobody would even give you the time of day. But I get it. Like, I get that it was Christmas Day, first of all, that happened. But it's not like I didn't work Christmas Eve. The point of the story is that everybody's not going to be super jovial. I understand this. Not everybody's going to, hey, fucking, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I worry that I get a little too, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? And some people don't want to hear that shit. But that's the only way I know how to do it, because I'm not going to be an asshole. I would rather try to lift people up and make people laugh and
feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, the power of a compliment goes a long way. It just, a little bit of kindness. You go first. Or let me get that for you. Or, it's so easy to help each other. And there's so much anger out there. We need to combat that with kindness, obviously.
Yeah, it's just it's something just as simple as, seeing a stranger in the store or something and just, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Or something like that,
People look at you look at somebody in the eye and you try not to judge what they're feeling by their expression and just smile, maybe they'll smile back, maybe they won't, maybe whatever, but at least you're putting the kindness out there. Don't be a grump. Don't be a grumpy Smitty.
There's a lot of people that are just pissed off all the time. I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I can relate to it.
Oh, it's easy to do. It's easy to go down that way.
I can relate to it.
But you have a choice.
Yeah. That was when, right before leaving the station. I was just in a bad spot where I was just mad all the time. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like
maybe
this.
I just need to get myself out of this situation. And
Out of the situation.
Recognize
and
how it was affecting
fix my shit, That's why I'm not dating. Mainly why I'm not dating. Like, I don't have, I don't have time, first of all, with all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have time, and I really feel like it's the cliche, but you got to work on yourself before you dump your shit on anybody else.
Yep.
You really got to get in there at as many relationships as I've had at this point.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a fucking cupcake. I'm not pleasant. I'm annoying as shit. I'm kind of fucking pushy.
Some days, yeah.
So I'm not that pleasant, but it's just like you got to work on yourself.
Yep. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You have to be the best you can be before you can bring anybody else into it. It's a lot of work. Relationships are work.
Bring anybody into this.
Well, I'm right. I don't want anybody in here. It's crazy in here.
Good fucking luck.
Oh yes.
Good luck.
It's hard. It's hard some days. I still struggle. You know, and everybody does. And You know what I have found though over the last years of doing the sidewalk chalk project is how not alone I am. How not,
Yeah.
how I'm not the only person who feels this way or struggles this way or has these thoughts. That's a big thing. And that's why I keep doing it. Because if there is one person who sees a sidewalk and it lifts them up, or who sees the sidewalk chalk project and it helps them in some way, know that what's going on up here is okay. Don't get stuck there. But, everybody has those feelings or those thoughts or those emotions, and you just know that you're not alone, and it helps you go, okay, I can get through this. I've got support. I have people who understand where I'm at and where I've been. Like even last week I posted, I just can't get the thoughts in my head to shut up. It's annoying. I'm one of those nonstop, like as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking of others. I just cannot, my inner voice never shuts up.
No, that's why I have so many, like, I'm sure I have ADD, ADHD and shit like that, I can't, that's why I can't believe I've gotten good at waiting tables, because you really have to have memory.
You do.
You have to. A lot of it I figured out is routine.
Right.
If you do this, then you do this, and that's routine. But my memory still fails me. I forget so many things at that job, even though I'm really, really good at it. My being jovial helps fix those situations where I forget something. I'm like, oh, you guys, I'm super sorry, and I can make jokes. But it's I have so many things going on up here that there's no way I can focus on one thing. It's just this conversation. We talked about squirrels and 180s and shit like that. Anybody that comes on, when I'm trying to explain things, I had brothers in yesterday in the studio, and I was trying to explain them some things, the new project I'm starting, and kind of the details behind it. And I was explaining, and Levi he said something like, goes to Josh, and he goes, if you're confused, just know that he means this and this and this. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not, that wasn't confusing. It made sense in my fucking brain.
Exactly.
Okay? It takes me a while to get from A to B, but man.
Yeah.
But honestly, I couldn't be happier with who I am.
Good.
I've kind of got to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are some exceptions in there, shit that I'm not better at. You were talking last night or earlier about just the inner monologue and telling yourself you're fucking stupid and you're a piece of shit. I was wondering last night if, like, it's normal to give yourself pep talks all the time.
It has to be, because you have to. If I don't work at that, I go back the other way.
Yeah, because I literally give myself pep talks. You didn't fix this yet. You didn't do this yet. You're a fucking idiot. And then your other part of you, it's almost literally the devil, angel, conscience sort of thing, where it's that you're a fucking idiot. No, you're not kind of thing. You did this. You did that. You just have to get better. You have to keep doing that. And I seriously, it's like pep talk after pep talk after pep talk all the time. And sometimes I wonder, is that normal?
To me, it's normal. And to me, it's becoming more normal, because it is, again, something that I have to constantly work at, looking for that next positive thought or looking for the next thing to be grateful for, because there is so much. But if you're focused over here on this isn't working, this isn't happening, I'm not doing this right, blah, 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 then you go down the dark, go down the dark hole, or, whatever. But it's something you have to work at every single day. Every single day.
No, it's worth working on it, though.
It is indeed.
Yeah, it's worth working on it.
It is indeed, yes. I'm, not great all the time.
Because honestly, like you were saying, you love to be an inspiration.
I try.
You are. You are. I hate saying it. It feels egotistical a lot of times. But I know that this project I'm doing inspires people.
Oh, it inspires me.
I've had people tell me it. It's weird. I don't like to hear it. It makes me feel uncomfortable when I hear things like that. But I also know that it's true. Yeah. And if I can fucking pull this off out of my ass, and, the 5-year plan includes the podcast being sustainable and things like that. That might not never, ever happen. I realize that. But the journey is the victory in it for me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To try it. And the end game is the Smitty Learns Irish cast, which I really do feel good about. And I do feel like
I
that's...
have been following since day one, and it does inspire me to see you. It's inspiring to see somebody go after a dream that they have, and it doesn't matter, how fast it happens or when it happens or if it even happens. Just the fact that you are brave enough to go, this is what I'm doing. I'm putting myself out here, and I'm not going to give up until I achieve this goal is very inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt right. That was just one of those things where it was epiphany is the only word I can use to describe it. Where I was just like, holy shit! I feel like if I do this, create a 5-year plan, stick to it. Obviously, the dream is for it to hit right away. That's the fantasy where it hits right away. Fuck all these jobs. I can just do this. That is not the reality.
Right.
There are so many people I see doing podcasts that it falls by the wayside after a year or less or little more because they just don't get the traction. And there could be many reasons for that, but most of the reasons is that the game is a hard fucking game to play.
It is.
And you really have to commit yourself to it and realize that nobody's going to watch your shit or listen to your shit at first. And then it might happen gradually. We were talking about the international numbers that I had, and more people are, when I see multiple views or downloads from the same city in another country, and all of a sudden you're seeing more repeats and you're seeing more repeats. Those are the fucking things where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
That's the way I kind of look at it too on the sidewalk page. When I see that people from New Zealand or Germany or wherever across the country are like, hey, I follow your page. Thank you so much for this, or I started my own. At the very beginning, I had a whole bunch of people start their own sidewalk chalk projects in their cities, like in California, in Florida, New Jersey,
There you
Pennsylvania.
go. You got to start a Patreon page and then be like, let me chalk in your area, and people donate, and you come chalk in some other country. Like you go to Guatemala and chalk in Guatemala.
My bucket list dream is to retire early, and I want to chalk in all 50 states, raising awareness and money for mental health programs. That's my bucket list
Gonna
dream.
get the RV and drive?
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
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 That is my dream. And then if that happens, when that happens, I would love to chalk in every continent. Would be very cool.
Not to get
as
into the
well.
age question, but when is an early retirement?
I don't know. Yeah. A day early. I don't know.
Honestly,
That's
I
what
feel
just
like
keep
you could
putting
get
out
that.
there.
I feel like you could get that funded, and I feel like you could do that. Just sell your house, sell everything, get the RV.
That's it. I'm hitting the road, Jack. That's
Don't
my dream.
come back no
That is
more,
my dream.
no more.
Speaking of, just because you're so funny, it made me. How come you don't do the comedy thing anymore? That was fun.
I'm actually thinking about doing it again. I don't know if I am. I'm thinking about a way. The same with the comedy, with the podcast and the radio presentation is
work.
kind of what I'm. I stopped doing it because I was really in a depression kind of thing. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I stopped doing it before I got fired. I think I did one or two other after that. But if I don't practice it every day, it's not good. Mm-hmm. At least in my head. I didn't necessarily bomb. I bombed a couple times. Everybody that's done stand-up comedy fucking has. But those bombs didn't sit well with me. And I knew it was because I wasn't practicing. Uh-huh. And I was just like, I don't have time. I don't want to do this right now. And I just stopped doing it because I didn't necessarily care about it that much it wasn't a passion necessarily.
Gotcha.
It was a bucket list to try it. I didn't know if it was a bucket list to keep doing it.
Well, I thought it was fun.
But I'm thinking about bringing it back because, again, when I did stand-up before, it's the same with doing the podcast before or the radio show before, where I had to have notes and I had to know what I was going to say, or I was going to clam up and I was going to freak out. Like I did actually one stand-up bit once where it was a tournament-style stand-up where everybody had like 5 minutes and they were given a random topic. And I actually got to the finals. I came up with this fucking hilarious story in the first round to do with that topic. But I got to the finals, and whatever topic I got was about the Catholics and the popes and some kind of dirty joke about the Catholics and popes. That's the first, because my brain was like, we'll go off on that sort of topic. But the blocks said, don't do that. And I clammed up and I couldn't
Oh.
fucking form words. And I just like, sorry guys, I got nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But
That would be scary.
right. So if
could
I
see-
don't
yeah.
know what I'm going to say, but you've seen me do like presentations at like Taste of Home on the
Yeah.
microphone, and I'm very engaging and like funny with people then. But I didn't know how to translate the two.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out a way to do stand up basically the way I'm doing this podcast now, which is to get up and tell stories and be spontaneous and organic. Have some jokes.
Yes, you still have to know kind of where you're going a little bit. But
Sure.
yes.
Sure, I'll have jokes
Yeah.
that I'll write, but I want those to kind of flow in and out of stories or something. Because what I want to do, hopefully, I want to start going to maybe Tuesday night open mics again and doing that. And just to test it out to see if I can do it and be comfortable doing that sort of thing. Because I feel like now I'm pretty good at calming my brain down in those situations and getting through those moments where I would clam up before. But I want to walk around Ireland and take that with me and hit open mics and
Oh,
shit
that
while
would
I'm
be. Oh, that would
walking
be so
around
fun.
Ireland.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be so fun.
I was just thinking of like ways I could like promote the podcast first of all and get back into stand up, which I kind of wanted to do anyway.
What
So,
made
yeah.
you like? What brought the whole Ireland idea? What were you just like? I think I'm gonna go to Ireland and do a bar tour. What?
Well, I mean, I've always just gravitated towards Irish things like music, realizing what U2 songs were about, watching movies like In the Name of the Father, and getting more into Irish music. I would hear Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly, and then I was listening to more of it when it was just not St. Patrick's Day, and you're listening to it more. And then just kind of seeing things here and there about Ireland. It just looks beautiful.
Oh,
It
it
looks
does look
gorgeous, you know?
gorgeous,
And
yeah.
I'm really interested in like pub history and like the roles pubs have played, bars have played, you know? And in society. I think that's a cool like thing. And the idea of that in Ireland, where it's just like this island that's been fucked with for thousands of years, been invaded over and over by Vikings, and you fucking name it. And it's kind of like been a strategic planning ground kind of area in the pubs where everybody would just get together, and they've handled that with such like this kind of grace and humor and good humor, and it's a country full of storytellers and like poets and artists and musicians and things like that, and I really kind of just fell in love with that. And
Do you have it like mapped out? You know where you're going
No,
to
I
go, or
want-
are you just gonna free flow when you?
I'm
get
going to free
there?
flow because I know that I'll start in Dublin and end in Dublin. That's really all I know.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of be as spontaneous as I can, where, I don't know, I was thinking about it the other day, where if I was in Dublin, where would you walk? How it's going to take me a day to walk to the next town. I got to figure out a town that's walkable, hopefully. I
Okay.
don't want to camp necessarily, right? I
Gotcha.
just want to walk town to town. And then just kind of meander around that way, and then okay, there's a festival in this town for Halloween or something like that.
Right.
I can catch a bus, or if I meet people and say, hey, you got to go to this rock show in this town, right? And then I'll be like, okay, I'll catch a bus or an Uber to that place, and then walk to the next place, figure out from there. You know,
That sounds awesome.
I think it sounds pretty fucking fun. I could talk about this all day.
It also sounds very liberating to just be able to go. I'm going to go left today. I'm going to go right today. I'm going to go straight today. You know,
Right.
It's like
And what I normally do, I've been trying to like that when I travel, I kind of go to point A. I might see a few things, but I don't go outside of my route necessarily. I don't necessarily do that.
okay.
I'm trying to be more comfortable doing that because I like freak out. I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know anybody or something like that. But again, this whole thing is me breaking out of my comfort zones and making things I don't normally do or not comfortable with the norm.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Netflix show, The Kindness Diaries?
The Kindness Diaries. no.
Oh, dude, you need to watch it. This will inspire your trip, I think. So it is this guy who has travels across like
Let me fucking put a note here to watch the
continents.
Kindness Diaries.
he has nothing but his little rickshaw, whatever. If it breaks down,
A
he has
rickshaw?
I don't know what you call them, the little side by sidey things. It's a scooter.
Oh, sidecar.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. Anyways, he goes from country to country relying only on the kindness of others to feed him, to give him gas money, to help him fix his. And it is beautiful.
Is it a documentary or
It
a
is.
show?
It's
Oh,
a documentary. Yeah. And I think there's even 2 seasons of it, but it just, you watch it and you just like have a new renewed belief in humanity, because he has no, he can't eat if nobody's sharing kindness with him, and he can't get to the next city.
It's a great idea. I don't think my conscience would let me do it that way.
Yeah, no, but it's very inspiring.
I know. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that because I am still. I want to be able to pay for my own food and lodging,
Right,
and that. I
yes.
don't want it to rely on anybody. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to like create a network.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a network of like and I already am starting to meet. I've met some of the musicians from the Scratch at that show in Chicago. I've had interviews with a couple Irish people and talked to a couple Irish people, and I'm starting to hopefully build some sort of network where you know this person and they can direct you in that direction, or they can
like,
get you
I'm
in
here.
touch.
Can you give me
Yeah.
pointers, or do
Yeah.
you know anybody?
Yeah, it just seemed to make more sense than just going.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
but still, it's very inspiring. And then the cool thing is, because he was financed, he would go back to some of these people and go, you had so little, and
Yeah.
you shared a bed, or you shared your food, or, you helped me fix my vehicle. And he would like give them $10,000. I don't even remember how much money it was,
Yeah.
but he would gift back to the people who were kindness just to be kind.
Oh,
It's
so
so inspiring.
so was the documentary? Was he penniless when he was going through these areas, or was he just seeing if he could without spending money?
No.
Did he have the money and just didn't want to spend it because he wanted to see if he could depend on the kindness of
I
strangers?
have to think he had.
He had the documentary.
Yes,
Yeah.
obviously there's somebody
Okay.
following him around with
Okay.
a camera and whatnot. But it was basically, just to show that, will people go out of their way to help somebody who needs it for whatever reason, whether they can really afford to give it or not, will they? And most of the time they did. And, obviously there was people who wouldn't, but
Is it just him, or is it he got a crew?
they only show him, but obviously there's somebody on the camera, so I don't really know how the backside of it worked, but just watching it was just totally inspiring, just to see people who, there was like 15 family members in this house that probably had 2 bedrooms, and the guy, it was bad weather, whatever, didn't have a place to sleep, and they're like, we don't have much, but here's a blanket and a pillow, grab a piece of floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just very cool.
You know what is my most inspiring fucking movie? It's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Have you watched that?
No.
Really?
But I know you use it for your like little picture
where is
thing
it?
that
It's used as the banner. You
Yes,
actually,
and I
this is my first Photoshop banner when I first started the podcast. Where the fuck is it? What the hell? Everything.
for you, but I didn't know.
You
what it
made
was,
that for me.
Yeah.
My first photo, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm like, you were a pretty good Photoshopper. Can you do that for me? But The Secret Life of Walter Mitty is the ultimate for the daydreamer who always thinks about doing stuff and always wants to do stuff, and he hasn't pulled the trigger. And it's so true. It's not real. It's kind of a fantasy element to it, right? But if you go do the things, the daydreaming stops. And this kind of thing. Fucking just always thinking about what if,
Yeah.
and I wish I would do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. I have a couple like pieces of art that I'm looking at that are like movie posters of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty that I want to put in my living room.
Oh, nice.
And it's honestly, if anybody's watched that movie and you think it's cheesy, fuck off. Watch that movie.
Okay.
You
watch
will
the
love it.
Kindness Diaries. I'll watch The Secret Life.
Perfect.
Of
Is that a full length documentary?
There's no. It's like 8 different, towns or cities or whatever. I think that it's a series.
So next time you come on, we'll report back and do a progress report about those 2 things.
We can compare notes. Yes, because it is just very uplifting to watch it. See, there are good people out there.
Sometimes it feels like they're hard to find, but then you do, And I honestly feel like I don't know if that's true or not. It feels like most people are basically good, good people.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, maybe half. I don't know, but it's just there's such a collective attitude within a tribe of people that obviously forms opinions and forms personalities and things like that. Those tribes are responsible for a lot of that shittiness, I think, you know, and people. It's not, you get most people one-on-one, they're all right.
Yeah.
Most people one-on-one are all right. It's when they get with other people or you start talking to them about whatever, or something like that, that you wouldn't normally. It's hard to have any sort of conversation anymore with people,
especially if you don't know them.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know what their thought process is or where they're at. Yeah, I don't want to get into politics or anything. But
Why not? Why not? Come on, Susan.
There's too much anger and hate and frustration and I get it all, but dang.
Well, that's why I don't really. I mean, I will talk about some of that stuff on the podcast. It's usually if it just comes up while I'm talking or I see something on a podcast or something like that. By and large, I really don't. I'd prefer, for my own fucking mental health, to not talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't know the things
You're
are
not
happening.
going to change anybody's mind.
Yeah.
You're just not. People have their own preconceived, they're stuck in their own whatever. So it's just better to just not even talk about it.
I do think minds are changeable, though. Minds are changeable.
I do think minds are changeable, yes.
I don't think it's necessarily just one thing that's going to change it, but it's a couple different instances here or there. But
you hope anyway.
I know. I've seen minds change. I've seen minds change on some pretty hardcore things before, like religion and politics and things like that. Pretty hardcore conservative people that are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I've seen people change from fairly hardcore Democrats to fairly evangelical.
Yeah.
It's just
or rock lovers to country music lovers. No,
that doesn't happen. All right. Hey, can you
does
explain
happen,
to me? Can you
because
explain to me?
I love them both.
Can you explain to me what is wrong with rocking the fucking jukebox?
Nothing.
Nothing. Don't rock the jukebox. Shut up.
I'm a music lover though. I don't like jazz that much, but I love all the, or really hardcore rap. Those are the two. Everything else, I love. I'm a country girl, but Shinedown's my favorite band. I mean, what do you say about that?
It's basically country. Shinedown's basically country anyway.
They just hit my mental health in such a good way.
I'm not going to knock them because you love them. Terry is one of the chefs at work, and she's a big Shinedown fan, and she's in charge usually of the music. So there's a lot of Shinedown. So every time Shinedown plays, I give her a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
And I try not to be a dick about it anymore, and just say your band sucks or whatever, because it's not. Doing like these reaction videos has been good for that. Just opening the rock and roll mind and things,
Yeah.
Where especially if I do a reaction to something, their band's fans are going to be watching it. I don't want to be a dick to people.
Right.
So I try to find the positives in it.
Yeah. The reaction videos are fun just because if somebody's never heard like Chris Stapleton, which I can't even imagine, to hear him just, rip a song to pieces because he's so freaking awesome every time he opens his mouth.
I listened to him. I wasn't impressed.
Are you serious?
Maybe I just haven't listened to enough.
Oh,
maybe I just haven't listened to enough.
Yeah, because I need to know what you're listening to. You got to.
I did a reaction once, and
what song?
I heard the Nothing Else Matters cover, and I was like, whatever. And then I don't remember. I did a reaction. I don't remember what song it was.
Oh my God.
I think it
Okay.
actually got blocked, so maybe it's not even on there right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some. Oh man, I don't. It could just be
Like
me.
vocals don't necessarily do it for me.
No, it's the amount of feels that I get. It's just like, oh my gosh. There's like he does this song called "Cold," or it's just like, oh my God, you just ripped out my heart. It's good stuff. But
That's
there's
like
a
kind
lot
of the
good stuff.
that's like the if you've never heard Ivor.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
she's from the Faroe Islands, and her management actually sent me the album early so I could do a review for it.
Awesome.
And I may get her on in an interview, which would totally fucking blow my mind. I don't even know how to deal with that. She's a fairly big international artist, but she just sings
Is it
like something you've never heard before.
Or what's it?
Eivor. It's
Okay.
Ivor Paulsdottir.
Okay.
I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's almost Scandinavian, Faroe Islands. But
Okay.
yeah, just hearing things like that. I called it world music for a while doing those reactions.
Yeah.
And then people over there were like, it's not world music if you're over here, motherfucker.
Just like in radio. It's
Yeah.
not up. It's not up here.
It's
You're
like
just here.
It's like
There's
some of
an
the
up
coolest
here.
like folk. I'm just finding so many things and
Yeah.
so much different music that is crazy awesome. And it's just one of those things that irritates me even more about like radio now.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
and I wanna-
hard. I
it-
mean, because there's so
it's hard
much,
to get things played. You
It
can't-
is.
Yeah.
Because there's so much talent out there that there's
There's
so
so
much
much
good stuff that could be shared that isn't being shared because there's 10 people that are well known. I'm sorry, let me get into that because the big label stations are getting paid to say they're playing this whatever. It's the same. I hate it. I hate
the
that
worst.
part of it.
It's
I
the
really
worst.
do.
It's the worst. And just like I realized that I was like, the only way I was getting introduced to new bands is either stumbling on it, hearing it by happenstance with like a friend or something was listening to it, or I was waiting for radio to tell me what to fucking listen to, or like MTV or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was just like, I just never explored that. I was just waiting to get told what to fucking listen to. I'm like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
and for as much time wasting as I do on TikTok, I love being able to discover new music through there because it's so quick, so where you can go, oh my God, I like this. I'm going to check out some more. I like this. I'm going to check out some more. Because I don't have time to sit through YouTube videos or any of that stuff. But that's why, I mean, I do a really small segment on my show where it's like, I try to find an up-and-coming artist most of the time that is getting zero airplay. Or, maybe it's a Michigan band or artist that is just getting no airplay. And you want to at least expose one song, hey, I found this, I think you guys might like this. Here's at least this song, and they might go check out some more of their songs. It's hard though because there's so much out there.
It would hard, and I would when I would do the rock radar at the station, there would be a string of where I would get away with doing kind of whatever I want. Oh, let's do this band that nobody's ever heard of. Let's do this band or this song that nobody's ever heard of. Then I would do like 5 of those a week, and I would ultimately get a call from some sort of boss or consultant. Yeah, you can't fucking play all that. It has to go through the process. Is it getting airplay? Fucking blah blah blah. And I'm just
Is
like,
it
oh
streaming?
God.
Is it selling? What is it doing on no, I'm sorry. This song is good. I just want somebody else to hear it. The radio station's not going to die because I played one song by an artist that nobody knew. But what if they liked it? And then they go for more. And then that artist does become big or doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's just about hearing and learning that there's more out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it's maddening.
It's a crazy
It's
business.
maddening. Yeah.
Like you said, there's just so much. There's just so much to choose from. I can't even do it all.
Then let's not do any more of it because it's probably time to go.
Oh my gosh, and here
How you feeling?
I'm good. I was driving down here. I'm like, oh my God, what if I sound like an idiot? What if I can't think of anything to say? My brain again never shuts off.
There's no way you're ever gonna sound like more of an idiot than I will.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I will sound dumber at some point. You know,
It has been a blast being here, and I got you programmed into my stuff and follow your whole journey and your
Thank you.
dream. And I'm a Patreon member.
Oh, that's right. You are.
I was one of the
Yeah,
first.
I know. Yeah.
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 Yeah, because I believe in the dream, the inspiration. It's very inspirational. I can't wait to just watch the next couple of years unfold and when you get there.
No, it's I think about it a lot, I appreciate it. It's I think about it a lot, what's it going to
So
look
keep
like?
subscribing, keep liking, keep following.
You know how to do all the things. You know how to do all the things. It has been awesome.
Yes, it has. Thank
And
you.
again, whatever links you want me to put up will be in the description of the video for the Sidewalk Chalk Project. And I really do think you need to do that coffee table book. I'm just saying it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out there. It's one of those things.
We're out of here. And
Yeah, you watch mine, I'll watch yours, and we'll connect again and discuss.
just do me a favor.
What?
Remind me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
I will.
Thank you so much.
You're very
We'll see you
welcome.
next time. See you, everybody. Bye.
Out of here.
So long, sucker.
Good night, everybody!
I am so sorry for everything that has happened.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, alright, I'll see you guys there. By the bar and get your face, huh? Get me paid, bitch! Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog. I love y'all very much. Peace out! Good night, ladies. What the hell, everything?